Good day and welcome. I am Tshepang Rammala, and today I will be presenting a hard news analysis of accountability and the public health care concerns. And the heading of my article is: Has Tembisa Hospital failed its patients? An analysis of corruption and negligence reports. The analysis of article is: Tembisa Hospital faces corruption scandal and family's pain, by Berger and Bonner, presented by Tshepang Rammala on October 2025. On my introduction, this presentation looks at a hard news article written by Berger and Banner in 2025. The article reports on the corruption and the poor healthcare at Tembisa Hospital, where a mother lost her son due to alleged negligence. In this presentation, I will be discussing the following: the lead and gist, the 5 W's and H, news values, and the sources that are used in the article. And now I'm going to move on to the lead and the gist in this article. The lead from this article is the heading and the first paragraph. The heading goes by Tembisa Hospital killed my son. And the first paragraph says, for years, Bahangelwe Litole has had her heart torn apart, but what is eating her more painfully is that her son died after a harrowing experience at Tembisa Hospital. To a type of lead. In this article, we have anecdotal lead. Why is it anecdotal lead? It is anecdotal lead because the article starts with a personal story about a mother who is Bahangelo Litole, who lost her son, Shonani Litole. It uses the emotional and real life example to introduce the bigger issue of corruption and poor hospital care. According to my notes, an anecdotal lead opens with a short story or a personal example to illustrate the bigger issue that matches perfectly with this article. Moving on to the gist of the story. The story is about a mother who blames Tembisa Hospital for the death of her son named Shonani Litole, who died in 2020 after being neglected. It also shows how corruption and fraud at the hospital may have contributed to poor care and mismanagement of public health funds. Next on, we have the 5 W's and H. We have the who. The story focuses on Vahangelwe Litole, a grieving mother who lost her son Shonani Litole due to alleged negligence at Tembisa Hospital. What? The article reports the death of Shonani Litole, who alleged died because of negligence and poor care at Tembisa Hospital. It also covers corruption, fraud, and mismanagement of the hospital, where over 2 billion was alleged stolen by syndicates. Way. It happened at the Tembisa Hospital in Gauteng, South Africa, one of hospitals that are under investigation by the Special Investigating Unit, the SIU. When? The incident occurred in 2020 during COVID-19 lockdown, but the article connects to new SIU corruption findings released in 2025. Moving on to our continuation of our 5 W's and H. Why? Because the mother believes that corruption, mismanagement, and neglect at hospital has caused her son's death. how her son Shonani Litole died after being left without food, care, or proper medication attention, while millions that were meant for the hospital improvement were misused through fraudulent contracts. And now we are on the news values. The first news value is we have women interest. This story has a strong women interest because it is about a mother who lost her son. The reader can feel the pain and the anger, and this makes people emotional and want to know more about what happened to that boy who died at the hospital. And it also shows a real human story behind the corruption and the bad health care, and this makes it a strong human interest story. And secondly, we have the impact. The story has a big impact because it shows how corruption and a bad hospital care can lead to death. It also affects not only the family but the whole community of Tembisa as a whole, or all the people in South Africa at Gauteng. And the conflict, thirdly, that's what we have. There is a conflict between the grieving mother and the Tembisa hospital. The story shows conflict between the public and the government health officials over corruption and negligence. And fourthly, number 4, we have a proximity. So the story happens at Tembisa Hospital in Gauteng, South Africa, and it feels very close to home for us, the South African readers, because many people depend on the public hospitals. So it shows the problem that could really affect anyone who may be in the situation. And we're going to continue with our news values. We have timeliness. The article is timely because it was written after a new corruption findings by the Special Investigation. And so even though Shonani Litole died in 2020, the story still connects to his death again. And we also have the prominence. Although the story is not about, it involves a well-known hospital and South African government, which gives more importance, even though the story is not about a celebrity. But then the hospital is still well known, and a lot of people in the community of Tembisa are relying on the hospital because it's a public hospital. And also, the President Ramaphosa and the SIU are mentioned, and which makes the story more prominent. And we have current. The problem of the corruption in hospitals is not old news. It is still happening, and it is still under investigation even today. And this case is a part of an ongoing national issue about how the public money is stolen while the patients are suffering. And lastly, we have unexpected. So it is very unexpected and shocking that the public hospital, which should save lives, it is linked to fraud and negligence. So people don't expect those who are supposed to take care of the patients to be part of the corruption which causes harm. And lastly, we have the sources. Number 1 source, we have Bahangwele Litole, the mother of the victim. She is the mother of Shonani Litole, who died at Tembisa Hospital in 2022. She is the main eyewitness and the one who is affected by the death of his son in the story. She is qualified to speak because she has experienced the situation directly, and she can also describe how her son was treated and how it affected her and her family as well. And also, her words gives the story a personal and emotional side that people can be able to understand. And secondly, we have Shonani Litole slash the medical records. Even though he passed away, this case also still has the medical records, and his situation is used as the evidence of hospitals' poor service and the negligence. And thirdly, we have the Special Investigation Unit, the SIU. The SIU is a government body that investigates the corruption and the fraud in the state institution. So they are qualified to speak because the leading an official investigation into Tembisa Hospital's corruption scandal. And also the article quotes other information from their reports and their findings, which makes the story credible and very factual. And lastly, we have President Cyril Ramaphosa. He is mentioned as the president of South Africa who authorized the SIU investigation into the hospital, and he is qualified to speak, obviously, because he has the legal and the political power to approve such investigations and ensure that accountability in the public institution is okay as a president. I am Tshepang Rammala. Thank you for listening.